You see, we believe that Babur destroyed a temple in 1528 and he built the masjid on top of that. But the Allahabad High Court and the Supreme Court asked the masjid party, please give us any evidence that you can to prove your presence at that site from 1528 to 1858. That is over 300 years. So for over 300 years, the masjid party could not give any evidence of their presence there. That raises the question, was it a smash and grab affair that whoever destroyed the temple, Babur or whoever, they destroyed the temple, quickly erected a masjid, denied the believers that site. But because perhaps there were not that many people who could perform namaz, the masjid perhaps was not used. But the fact is that we have no evidence of what happened to the masjid from 1528 till 1858. Now, why do I say 1858? 1858 is when the British judicial system begins to operate, because the British have established control over that region after the Great Revolt of 1857. So in 1858, in the Faizabad District Court, we for the first time hear a Muslim voice. That Muslim voice is of the superintendent of Babri Masjid. Now he is filing a complaint at the Faizabad District Court saying that, so many Nihang Sikhs have entered the masjid, they started Havan and Puja, and they've written Ram Ram with koila, charcoal on the walls of the masjid. The interesting thing in the light of what you asked me is that he signs this petition to the British saying that I am the Mutawalli or the superintendent of Masjid-e-Janmsthaan. So, this itself is such a giveaway that no masjid in the world will be called Masjid-e-Janmsthaan, because no masjid has anything to do with the birthplace. So that means implicit in this was the recognition that it was the masjid built on the Janmsthaan. After that, there is a whole lot of evidence that has been produced in the Allahabad High Court, upheld by the Supreme Court, talking about the validity of the claim of Ram Bhakt to that site. But I don't want to go into the details. Since you asked Masjid-e-Janmsthaan, I want to say this was the name given by the superintendent of the masjid. He himself is saying that I am the superintendent of Masjid-e-Janmsthaan. And one more thing in this context, that in the year 1600, Akbar had given 6 bighas of land to Hanuman Tila. Hanuman Tila, we know, is near the Janmsthaan. And that grant had to be renewed about 100 years later. So 100 years later, the then ruling Mughal emperor, he examines the documents of Hanuman Tila and he says these documents are genuine and I renew the grant made by Emperor Akbar. So when he gives this order, the order can never be verbal, it has to be written, because Mughal Raj was also always called Kagzi Raj. Everything had to be written. So the scribe who writes down this Mughal order of the emperor saying that we renew 6 bighas of land to Hanuman Tila, he signs off also in a very interesting way. He says, I'm the scribe putting this Mughal order into writing, and I'm writing from the Janmsthaan of Ram. So, it is very interesting that the Persian accounts also acknowledge that this is the birthplace, Janmsthaan. The only thing is that till the controversy assumed its present form, that is in the mid 20th century, when left historians got into the debate and falsified everything that they could. All the documents that are available in Persian, Urdu, they were all unanimous in referring to this as the place of a Janmsthaan temple.